Hey there, dear Spellweaver community, and welcome back to a new episode of Spellweaver Ranked. And today we play a deck that I hold near and dear to my heart. I already played this in Spellweaver Ranked, but that was like a long time ago, you know, way back when. And today, as you can see in the video title already, we play Blue Soldiers. Now, Blue Soldiers are played pretty much in the last couple of weeks. I've played it in the Conquest tournament, where I just completely fell in love with the deck. And then I played it a couple of times in friendlies. Last two times I played it in friendlies, it didn't work that much. Maybe the meta shifted a little bit. Could be a thing. But still, Blue Soldiers, I'm a little bit scared, however, that because last time I played this in Spellweaver Ranked, which was like 1 year ago, I think. There is no deck that is truly bad, in my opinion, by the way. It's just how the current meta stands. And depending on how the meta shifts, some decks are more viable, and other decks just completely fall off for the most part. But yeah, that's what I'm a little bit scared of. I don't know what to expect when we hop into rank. But what I wanted to check real quick is not that, but this one, rather. And as we can see, apparently there's a little bit, of a diversity. In the top 10 at least. Whitix, Yiddix, Comsiant is still pretty present, but overall it has shifted a little bit. There is a good diversity now in terms of heroes. There is no real hero that is like overused. Maybe Whitix, Yiddix, Comsiant, but yeah, you know, overall it looks pretty diverse, so I'm kind of glad to see that. And yeah, why is Blue Soldiers so freaking awesome? I'm gonna tell you right now. If you want to see that deck, by the way, in pure action, I don't know how it's gonna work out this time in rank, but if you want to see it work pretty nice, not to spoiler anything, watch the last Conquest tournament. Link, of course, to the playlist and is in the description. Make sure to check that out, because that is where I fell in love with this deck. And I played it a couple of times before in friendlies, and that also worked really well. So, of course, soldiers. What do you run with soldiers? Of course, you run Order, you run Alexa the Battle Maiden. By the way, props to, I think, Vanguard X. Vanguard X's favorite soldiers list is Red Soldiers, but I think, not really too sure, but I remember that I saw a video of his on the Shrining channel on YouTube, where he was like, you know, I want to make Alexa viable again, because no one played her. And then he made like I think, I'm not too sure if he's actually the inventor, but that's who I would assume was the first one to actually make it, at least make it popular, Blue Soldiers. So we run Alexa Battle Maiden, because it's a freaking awesome ability. You only need 1 order aspect and 1 mana, and you can summon a militia onto the field if you control another creature. And that militia, as you can see to the right here, is a 1/1 speed, not too good, but as long as its attack is greater than 1, it gets +1 speed. So basically, if you put a Might Emblem on it, it's a 2/2 speed, which is pretty nice. We have 4 times Sentry of the Light. When it comes onto the field, we can distribute one Might Emblem onto 1 creature, so that's Valor +1. So we can put it also on him, and he would be a 2/1, 2 speed. Not too shabby. Then we have Steel Nor Innkeeper, which is basically anti-milling and awesome against zombies decks, because, you know, when they run the Ghoul, how is he called? Insatiable Ghoul. He can't attack if you don't have any creatures in the graveyard. So we just play him, shuffle back all the... Because you know, that's the thing. People play like Wisdom Zombies right now, where they just decay a bunch of their own zombies, and then play like the Tomb Keeper, I think he's called, to draw like a bunch of cards and stuff, and then they, you know, mill themselves. And this is, you know, where Steel Nor Innkeeper comes into play, because we just shuffle those creatures back into the enemy graveyard. However, we can also do that to our own. We can also shuffle our creatures into our graveyard, which we don't necessarily want, but more on that later. We can also pay 1 mana to stupefy an enemy creature, and that is awesome against, let's say, a Phoenix. He has a 3/3 speed flying, of course, and he rebirths if he has 3 energy, and he comes onto the field with 3 energy. So we stupefy him, he's not flying anymore, and he can't rebirth himself anymore. Also, we can stupefy, I always come up with Rage for some reason. We can also stupefy Militant Automaton, or the Steel Sentient, you know, that gets like drones every time. When the enemy has like 4 aspects, he summons like drones every time, and he gets +1/+1 for every drone. Stupefy him, no drones anymore, and he doesn't get bigger and stronger anymore, and he's just down to a 3/3, which is awesome. CFC, or KFC as I like to call him, got nerfed. His retreat ability got removed, which isn't a big problem because you mainly play him for his other play boost ability, if you will. When he enters the field, one other creature that we control gets +1, +1, +1. +1 on attack, +1 on HP, and +1 on speed, which is of course really nice. And a 2/2 3-speed blocker is of course nothing to shun away. Then we have Elite Vanguard. I fucking love this card. It's a vanilla 3/3 2-speed. Can get hit by Fireball, obviously, but a 3/3 2-speed blocker is just mwah, delicia, definitely. Then we have the Master Tactician, and that is the key part in every soldier's list, because when he enters the field, each soldier on the same line as Master Tactician, which is obviously the front line, gets +1 attack, +1 HP, and that of course also buffs up the militia. And since it buffs it up to a 2/2, basically, he also gets the +1 speed advantage, which is obviously pretty nice. And so far, by the way, we have the Elite Vanguard. He's a soldier, he gets buff. We have, not him, that's a knight, so he doesn't get the buff. But Dwarf Soldier, of course, right here, still an Innkeeper is a Dwarf Soldier, gets the buff. He doesn't get the buff since he's a knight, but also the soldier right here. Did I forget him, by the way? I think I forgot to mention him. Steelhouse Spearman is also a soldier, also gets the buff from the Master Tactician. And those are all the soldiers, by the way, in the deck. And of course, Steelhouse Spearman is an awesome 1-drop, 3-speed, 1/1, 1 aspect, 1 mana. Basically, you can play this at turn 1. It's basically a Lizard Barbarian. Steelhouse Spearman is ranged while defending, and that is also a nice thing, because at 3 speed you can block pretty much everything, and it deals with every 1 HP creature, so it's awesome against Rush, obviously. And if we buff him with Sentry of the Light, that thing is a 2/2, 3 speed that is ranged while defending. I mean, doesn't really get better than that. And by the way, just wanted to mention this, you know, Steel Knight Innkeeper, some people might say, okay, he's a soldier, so he gets the buff, so it makes sense to put him in a soldiers list, because he also gets the advantage of the Master Tactician. But the thing is, oh well, we get to that later in the when we come to the skill shrine, actually. 2 times Timea Magi Wanderer, the first wisdom creature in blue soldiers. Valor +1, got nerfed a little bit. Or changed, I would rather say, because before she was a 2/1 that was able to distribute might emblems to 2 creatures. Now it's only 1, but she also got buffed in terms of strength and H-Pizzle. So now she's a 3/2, can apply 1 might emblem, and whenever another creature you control deals combat damage to a hero, you may remove the might emblem and move the might emblem that you have on the creature onto Timea and draw a card, which is pretty nice. Dwarven Mortar, another wisdom creature, fits perfectly into the soldiers, because just an awesome card, I gotta say. It's really fun to play with this. 3/2. I've seen many people, by the way, you know, usually it's when you play it, it's on the support line, obviously, because it can attack. But most people actually put it on the front line, because with 3 HP and 2 speed, it's actually a viable blocker as well. Makes sense. Exhaust another creature you control. Dwarven Mortar deals 2 damage to an enemy creature. Shock Dwarven Mortar. So basically we can attack everything on the front and on the support line. And the cool thing is we have to shock a creature, which means that creature can't attack in that turn. But yeah, you know, that's where Rally the Peasants come in. We just summon a militia that we don't really care about because it's only 1 damage. Then we shock the militia, make 2 damage to an enemy creature, and deal with that this way. Saluxio, the Awbringer. I fucking love Saluxio. A 3/3 3-speed is pretty awesome in itself. It's basically like a Elite Vanguard on steroids, because, you know, it's 1 more speed, obviously. I mean, it's also 1 mana, but 1 more mana, but yeah. And it's flying, and the enemy hero can't use hero skills, and some people actually rely on that. Like, if we disable Advanced Darius, so we can deal with our board, because, you know, we have so many creatures. That's the one thing that that is really detrimental to soldiers. Advanced Zash is a problem, because all of our creatures, as you were able to see, basically get annihilated by Zash's hero ability, Advanced Zash. So, there we have Saluxio. We just pump it up a little bit because she is still in Fireball range. But if we pump her up with the skill shrine that we get into later, she's out of Fireball range and basically can't be killed. We have 2 of these in there, and that basically secures our board presence in the mid to late game, if it comes to that point. And also against Advanced Darius, also against Enoch hero ability, sometimes, you know, that can save us, but pretty awesome. 4 Trigons of the Pact. Ever since the nerf, it's not as it used to be. No. Trigon definitely got nerfed. You have to pay 1 mana in order to play the double shrine, but you know, you can still play it to pump up a creature, and basically you only need 2 aspects in the whole deck anyway, so dropping like a Trigon and then an Order Shrine, because you definitely need 1 more Order Shrine for a specific spell, then yeah, definitely viable. And why do you need that 1 more order level? Exactly, because of Holy Radiance. It either deals 1 damage to each enemy creature, or if we drop it on the field, it becomes a blessing. Then the enemy has 1 turn, and at the start of our turn, Holy Radiance gets destroyed, and it deals 3 damage to the entire enemy board, which wipes out pretty much everything. Only 1 of these in the deck, however. Guards 4 times lets us get 2 Militias onto the field with 3 speed immediately. It's an instant spell, so that means if the enemy is about to go face, we can just drop guards, and drop his creature that is attacking, or just block it. 2 times Arrow Barrage. We can either distribute 4 damage onto the front or the support line. Of course, the enemy gets, or the damage gets distributed by the enemy, so we don't have a say in that. Ray of Righteousness 2 times just to deal with big HP creatures, because they could become a problem, like a Phoenix if we don't have the cards that we need, or like a Battle-Scald Elder. I always think about Rage because that's what people mainly play. Yeah, that's Ray of Righteousness. If we don't have any answers to those, we just drop Ray of Righteousness and get rid of it. Also, we can destroy a spell, which means we can also get rid of Haunt, even though nobody plays it anymore in the first place, or Tombs or something like that, which is pretty nice. Parallel Evolution. This thing is gonna get nerfed, and I want to keep it as it is, I gotta say. Just a little reminder right here, but probably the draw a card aspect is a little bit ridiculous. Transform an allied creature into a copy of an enemy creature or vice versa, and this is why I love Blue Soldiers so fucking much, because, you know, look at the meta. What do people play? They play Wisdom Rage Zash. They have high hit creatures, they ramp up so quickly into this with new fucking horizons that it's just ridiculous and you can't do anything, you might think. They drop a Battle-Scald Elder. Alright, no problem. You probably have, like, you know, as you can see, our creatures are so dirt cheap. You can play multiple creatures or multiple spells in 1 turn, basically. You just, let's say you have like a Steelhouse Spearman and a Sentry of the Light on the board, and then you just summon a Militia, and then you see, okay, Battle-Scald Elder just hit the field. Well, I'm just gonna Parallel Evo that Battle-Scald Elder into a Militia. So the 4/4 2-speed Battle-Scald Elder turns into a 1/1 1-speed Militia that you can just wipe off the field, basically, or you just turn it into a Sentry of the Light because it deals 0 damage in the first place, and it's dealt with. Same with the Phoenix, and same with any big creature. If you don't have Ray of Righteousness, Parallel Evolution is definitely your card to go in Blue Soldiers, and it freaking draws you a card. You know, it's freaking awesome. It cycles itself, and it's just an awesome. It's just awesome. And pretty obnoxious for the enemy to play against. Obviously, there are some spells that you can, like, swap out. Like, Pacify is pretty good, even though nobody plays it, which is kind of weird, because it's a pretty powerful card, in my opinion, at least. You can swap up, like, maybe, like, an Arrow Barrage, maybe Holy Radiance, and put in Pacify, but as you know me, I just fucking love Holy Radiance. And then we have Soldier's Memorial, and this is also a card that I just grew to love with Blue Soldiers. Put a soldier card from your graveyard onto the bottom of your deck. If you do, put a Might Emblem on an allied creature. So the thing is, let's say we run against Rage. This thing gets fireballed and is off the field. This thing gets fireballed, is off of the field. This thing gets fireballed, it's off of the field. Everything that we have right here can get removed by either Fire Blast or Fireball. However, if we have, like, our 1 HP creatures that we just lost, like the Steelhouse Spearman, for instance, or not him, but Steelhouse Innkeeper, we just cycle them back with Soldier's Memorial back into the deck, and we can put a Might Emblem on Seluxio, so she is out of Fireball range. We can put it on the Master Tactician, he is out of Fireball range. Basically, we can puff up any of our creatures. We can even, like, pump up like a Militia to make him like a 2/2 2-speed, which is pretty nice. Or if the Master Tactician is out, imagine this, the Master Tactician is out with the Militia. The Militia has a 2/2 2-speed. We put a Might Emblem on that Militia, and the Militia is a 3/3 2-speed. That's freaking nasty. It is a mid-game to late-game thing, but it definitely happens more times than it actually should, probably. But it's freaking awesome when it happens. And yeah, that on the surface, basically, that is blue soldiers. I am really scared to hop into rank with this because I don't want them to betray me. We just have to see. I haven't jumped into rank for like 2 weeks, I think, so I don't know how the meta currently stands and what people play. I don't know how Valor Rage actually fare, or how blue soldiers actually fare against Valor Rage. Also, by the way, the problem is, if the enemy has a Might Emblem on a creature and we parallel evo that creature that has the Might Emblem onto, let's say, like a militia, the Might Emblem still is applied onto the creature that we parallel evo, which means that creature still has the Might Emblem, so it's not a 1/1 speed militia, but it's actually a 2/2 speed militia. Just to keep that in mind. The Might Emblem doesn't go away, it's still there. But yeah, that is the deck tech. We are currently ranked 292 with a rating of 1055, 100 wins, 134 losses. Let's see, dear friends, how it goes with blue soldiers in game number 1. Let's see what the doctor ordered, and apparently it's Advanced SP now, Dr. Durden. Alright. That is not bad, actually, because we have the 1-drop right here. We have the shrine straight off the bat. Let's keep it. We might, however, have to DO. We actually have a Spark as well. Gets the Vampiric Touch right away. That sucks a little bit. It's gonna take a little while until we get to her, so let's go like this. Sadly didn't get the Trigon. Maybe would have played that, because apparently it takes a little bit of time until he gets into the scheme of things. Power Surge. Alright. So ramping up right there. We have Dwarven Mortars, which is pretty good. Don't really want to get rid of anything here, but maybe this. Okay, we have the Trigon. Do I want to... Nah, let's actually... Because we can't really do anything with that yet. So I think we go with the Skill Shrine. Get one of these beautiful fellas out and just go face. Because we can't really gain anything when I play like Trigon now. The problem is, one more level and he can play the Bloodseeking Mutant. And he gets a Might Emblem right away. But then again, Parallel Evo. Or he just does that. Rage Dominion. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, we can cycle him back. Can't we? He's a soldier, right? Yeah. Don't know why we can't. Oh well. Let's go with Order Dominion. There we go. Let's buff him up. And next turn, we can actually go for the Master Tacticino. And yeah, speaking of fireballs, by the way, in fireball range. So we have to keep that in mind. Well, that's not a problem. Yeah, I just summon another militia and then just Parallel Evo Prinha into that next turn. That's easy. Or maybe I can even kill my own militia off. That will also be pretty neat. Dwarven Mortar. Pretty good, actually. So I go up one more aspect next turn. Yeah, I don't have to go up aspects anymore. I definitely can just go for shrines and levels now. Shrines and card draw. So I think I played a Tactician. And then... He doesn't have Vampiric Touch left, but he might have a Bloodseeking Mutant, and I don't want him to remove the Militia because I want to swap that into Prinha, so I'm gonna play the Tactician for a little bit more beats. And that's what I mean, you know, Might Emblem, Tactician, 3 damage Militia, let's go. I mean, we can even nullify Prinha to a little bit at least, with the Innkeeper, and just kill it off with the Master Tactician actually, but he might have a Fireball. Do we have a soldier in here? We don't. Alright. So if he goes up one more Dominion, he's... 2 more turns. If he goes up one... level now. It's actually only one more turn until he can actually play Karthus. Which you can also transform with Parallel Evo. And yeah, there it is. Bloodseeking Mutant. Alright. No problem. We can actually swap him back. Of course, didn't hit a shrine. Perfect. But we have the spark still, so there's that. Let's see, 2, 1, not enough. There's nothing, like we can't do the one creature into hero ability into Parallel Evo, which kinda sucks. Do we play Steel Nor? I mean, everything else just gets removed, which is a problem. I can deal 2 damage with this, but of course it doesn't kill anything with 2 damage. I can also wait and just go guards, but that also doesn't kill anything. Can have a maximum of 4 mana with the spark. So I think I'm just gonna play this. Keeping him in for the buff effect, obviously. He has hero ability left, so I think I'm gonna pump him up. Because the thing is, he could use Vampiric Touch and then play a Bloodseeking Mutant and it will be dead. And then I would have to deal with like 2 Bloodseeking Mutants with Might Emblems, and definitely don't want that. Or a Fireball. God damn it, it puts me back so much. Obnoxious. That's for sure. 2 Parallel Evos is nice. No card draw. Okay, game. So I have a maximum of 5 mana, which means I can do the play, actually. Okay, I'm gonna play him to block the Bloodseeking Mutanto. Or maybe I just put him on the back line, actually. Summon this. Spark. Transform this. That would clear his board. Sadly, we don't have any mana. Well, this gets removed with Vampiric Touch. And then he... Nah, he can't buff this. So he definitely loses Bloodseeking Mutant. No, he doesn't have to, never mind. He just shrinks this, kills it with a Bloodseeking Mutant, and trades these 2 off. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Exactly, that's also what I wanted to bait out, because now we have 2 fireballs in the graveyard, which is nice. 1 less to deal with. And if he doesn't play anything, that's also nice, because I can just Arrow Barrage and his sight is gone. Which helps out. And he might not... Yes, he doesn't have anything to play. I hope. 2 mana. Rage Dominion. Probably high... Yeah, high creatures. Here you go. Have fun with that. For the damage. Let's see what we draw. Master Tactician is alright. But I think I'm gonna get rid of 1 just to make sure that we actually hit another shrine. And I also have guards ready, which I can play after his after whatever he is gonna do. And just play Tactician right away. Yeah, here we go. That's exactly the thing that I love. Goodbye, Phoenix. Fuck off. We don't want you around here. We don't like you. Play the Tactician. Get him out of Fireball range, because he has a couple of those left. And go fucking in! Yes! And only 1 card left for him to play, by the way. So that limits his possibilities to actually do anything. Problem is... Karthus could be a thing. Apparently it isn't the 1 card that he had. Or Helm. Or Helm. Which we can also deal with quite easily. Which I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, artifacts. Did I do it right? Yeah, we can destroy an artifact. Would have loved to get him back, but apparently it's not gonna happen. Don't really want to cycle anything back here. Soldier, we need that. 2 soldiers in there, so I don't need to play the steel nor innkeeper actually. Alright. Can also pump this up. Fire blast is obviously a problem. Yeah, tactician. And we have another soldier in here, so we also have, and 2 Dominion levels, so Cataclysm is a possibility. Spends a couple of mana for Tempting Lure. Let's see what he fishes out, if anything. With 3 mana. Yeah, our creatures are not costly. Okay, yeah, fishes that out. The thing that I can do, though... I don't want to put too much creatures on there. I actually want to keep this on the parallel Evo, anything that he has into this. Because it doesn't do jack shit, basically. Yeah. 7 mana. That's a nice thing. Yeah, I'm gonna play him. We can buff him up next turn. Oh, we don't. We don't have any soldiers in here. My bad. Didn't play anything. He doesn't have anything to play. You never know. Let's go face. He doesn't have any answers now, it seems. So, 2 cards left. Limits his possibilities, obviously. Let's get some card draw in here. And it's also a nice thing, you know, the Might Emblems. We can basically, like, draw a couple of cards now. Yeah, let's draw one more. Guards. Hello. Next turn, we might have lethal if he doesn't drop Cataclysm. I don't care about Karthus. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. Seluxio. Okay. Definitely gonna play him. Get him back. So... we get this guy down. Speed, actually, which is good. We pump up. If I pump this up more, then work out. Timea also not, so I have to pump up one of the militias. I'm gonna make sure if he survives that he can't play any of his stuff, I think. And he resigned. All effect. Look at my time. You know, parallel Evo, and it's just gone. Love it. Even though it didn't look too good for us, I gotta say. In the early to mid game, but then, you know, mid to late game when he didn't have as much cards to play anymore, we definitely stabilized, and that helped us out by a good amount. So now we are at rank 249 with a rating of 1081. Game 1 went pretty nice. Let's hope that we can keep this up in game number 2.